Good morning, children. Today we will study about impact of globalization in India. In the last 20th century, globalization of Indian economy has come to a long way. So we have seen that the globalization was started in the year 1991, and now the India has experienced a lot about the Indian economic globalization. What has been its effect on the lives of the people is what we are going to study in this part. Some evidence we will see it. So globalization and greater competition among producers, both local and foreign producers, has been of advantage to consumers, particularly the well-off sections in the urban areas. So globalization has always benefited the consumers. So globalization has always created a greater competition among the producers, and because of this, both local and foreign producers has been of advantage for the people in the all sections in the urban areas. So globalization and greater competition has given a much benefit to the consumers in the urban areas. There is greater choice before these consumers who now enjoy improved quality and lower price for several products. So how this globalization and greater competition has benefited the consumers? The consumers can now get better quality of goods and also at a much lower prices because of this globalization and greater competition. As a result, these people today enjoy much higher standard of living than the possible earlier. And as a result, the consumers or the people of our country or any country which has followed the policy of globalization, they are enjoying higher standard of living than it was possible earlier. Now this is also beneficial among the producers and the workers. The impact of globalization has not been uniform. We can also see that the producers and workers have not got the uniform benefits of the globalization. How? Firstly, MNCs have increased their investment in India over the past 20 years, which means investing in India has been beneficial for them. Regularly we have seen that from the past 20 years, MNCs have increased their investment in India. Why they have increased? Because it has benefited them. They are getting lots of profit and benefit. That is why they have invested the money for the past 20 years and also increasing this investment. MNCs have been interested in industries such as cell phones, automobiles, electronics, soft drinks, fast food, or services such as banking in the urban areas. So in which companies or industries the MNCs have got the interest? It is basically the mobile, that is cell phones, mobiles, then automobiles, then electronics, soft drinks, fast food, and also in the banking services in the urban areas. And these are the industries where the MNCs have got lots of benefits. These products have a large number of well-off buyers. All these products, that is electronics, automobiles, cell phones, soft drinks, they have large number of buyers. In these industries and services, new jobs have been created. Of course, the new jobs have also been created in these industries and also in the services. Also, local companies supplying raw material, etc. to these industries have prospered. Even the local countries whom are prospering the raw materials to these MNCs have also prospered. So we can see that there is a benefit to the producers also, local producers also, but still the MNCs have increased their investment and taken out the cream from the country. Now certain case studies are given, like steps to attract the foreign investment. The Indian government have taken certain steps to attract the foreign investment. How? In recent years, the central and the state government in India are taking special steps to attract the foreign investment in India. What are the special steps which the central government and the state government both are undertaking? The first is industrial zone called special economic zones are being set up. So special economic zone, famously known as SEZ, which are also called the industrial zone, is set up both by the state and also by the central government. SEZ are to have the world class facilities special economic zones are basically the world-class facilities like the electricity, water, roads, transport, storage, recreational and educational facilities. So the central government and the state government is providing both the special economic zones, all the special economic zones, the world-class facilities of electricity, water, roads, transport, storage, recreational and educational facilities, so that they can come here and open their company and industries. Companies who set up production unit in the SEZ do not have to pay taxes for an initial period of 5 years. All those companies who set up their production unit in the special economic zone do not have to pay taxes for the initial 5 years. So it is very, very beneficial. That is why the foreign companies are coming and setting up their industries in the India. Government has also allowed flexibility in the labor laws and to attract the foreign investment. So our government has also allowed the flexibility in the labor laws, so that the foreign people will come and invest in India. You have seen in the chapter 2 that the companies in the organized sectors have to obey certain rules that aim to protect the workers' right. The government have also made certain rules to protect the workers' right. In the recent years, the government has allowed companies to ignore many of these. So in the recent years, we can see that the Indian government has ignored many of these, so that the foreign investment will come in India. Instead of hiring workers on the regular basis, companies hire workers flexibly for the short period when they are intense pressure of work. So what the companies have done, MNCs have done, they have, due to this flexibility, they have used the labor laws, and when there is a pressure of work, at that time they hire the intense labor for a short period of time, and when there is no pressure, then they remove the workers from the company. This is done to reduce the cost of labor. So why this is done? To reduce the cost of labor. However, still not satisfied, foreign companies are demanding more flexibility in the labor laws. Still we can see that the companies are demanding more labor laws, more flexibility in the labor laws. Now what is the second thing which we can see? Secondly, several of the top Indian companies have been able to benefit from the increased competition. The top companies have also benefited from the increased competition. They have invested in the new technology and production methods and raised their production standard. The big companies of the Indian companies, they have invested in the new technology and also in the production method and raised their production standard. Some have gained from successful collaboration with the foreign companies. Some of the Indian companies have also got benefit from the collaboration, that is joining with the foreign companies. Moreover, globalization has enabled some large companies to emerge as a multinational themselves. Even many of the Indian companies, because of globalization, has emerged as a multinational corporation. Very good example is Tata Motors, Infosys, Ranbaxy, Asian Paints, Sundaram Fasteners are some of the companies who have opened their operations or company throughout the world. Globalization has also created new opportunities for companies providing services, particularly to those in the IT sector. So IT sector, which comes under the service sector, has benefited much from the globalization. The Indian company producing a magazine for the London-based company and call centers are some example. Even the Indian companies which are producing the magazines for the London and also in the call centers, they have much benefited from the globalization. Besides, a host of services such as the data entry, accounting, administrative tasks, engineering are now being done cheaply in the countries such as India and are exported to the foreign countries. So these Indian companies are also doing the work of data entry, accounting, administrative tasks, engineering, etc. and other things at a very cheap rate, and then they are exporting to the foreign countries. So we have seen that there is a very good impact of globalization, whereas certain bad impact is also there. Now what about the small producers? Small producers compete or perish. Because of this globalization, the small producers either can compete with the others, big companies, or they have to close their business. For a large number of small producers and workers, globalization has posed major challenges. So small producers and workers, they have got lots of challenge because of this globalization. What are those challenges? rising competition. Here one case study is given that how a small producer, his name is Ravi, how he has competed and how he has faced the problem because of this rising competition, and either he can compete with the big companies or he has to close the business. Batteries, capacitors, plastics, toys, tires, dairy products and vegetable oils are some example of these industries, small producers who have been badly hit because of the globalization, because the competition with the big companies have increased. Several of the units have shut down, regarding many workers jobless. The small industries in India employ the largest number of workers, and we know that the small scale industries have employed the largest number of workers. As a result, many of the people have become jobless, and because of this increasing competition, and we can see that this is the biggest bad impact on the small producers. Competition and uncertain employment. Globalization and the pressure of competition have substantially changed the lives of the workers. Faced with growing competition, most employees day to day prefer to employ workers' flexibility. So we can see that because of globalization, the employment has also been under the pressure. Since the competition has increased, most employees these days, they prefer to employ workers flexibly. That is, when there is pressure of work, they will employ more workers. When there is no work, they will no longer give them the job. Means the workers' job is not secure. Large MNCs, basically in the garment industry in Europe and America, order their products from the Indian exporters. These large MNC with worldwide network look for the cheapest goods in the order to maximize their profits. So MNCs in the European and American countries, they give their works to the Indian exporters, and they look worldwide for the cheap goods. Why? So that they can maximize their profit. To get these large orders, Indian garment exporters try hard to cut their own cost. So the Indian garments exporter, they also try to cut the cost. That is, they give the less payment to the laborers. As the cost of the raw material cannot be reduced, exporter try to cut the labor cost. Since the cost of raw materials for the production cannot be reduced, so exporters try to cut the labor cost. Whereas earlier a factory used to employ workers on the permanent basis, now they employ workers on the temporary basis. These companies, they also keep the people on the temporary basis. The job security is not there, and also they do not pay the workers for the whole years. When the work pressure is there, that time they give the work, otherwise they don't give the work. Workers also have to put in very long working hours and long night shifts the workers have to do on the regular basis during the peak season. Wages are low, and the workers are forced to work overtime to make both ends meet. So wages are very low, and workers have to work very hard so that they can fulfill the demands and fulfill the works and give to the producers. While this competition among the garment exporters has also allowed the MNCs to make large profits, workers are denied of their fair share of benefit brought about by the globalization. Because of this, the MNCs have become very rich. They are making large profits, but the workers are not getting the benefit of this globalization. Here is a small story about the garment workers. You can read it and understand it. The conditions of workers and the hardship of the workers described above have been common to many industries, units and services in India. So we can see many of the companies, many of the industrial units and the services of India are facing this problem. Most workers today are employed in unorganized sector. Most of them are working in unorganized sector. Moreover, increasing conditions of work in the organized sector have also come to resemble the unorganized sector. So because of this, increasingly conditions of work in the organized sector have come to resemble the unorganized sector. Even the organized sector are also resembling or copying the unorganized sector. Workers in the organized sector such as Sushila no longer gets the protection. Even in the organized sector, the people are not getting the protection and benefits of the globalization. Today only this much. Thank you.